Lojong, a Tibetan word literally translated as mind training. These are the 8 verses of Lojong, the foundational Tibetan Buddhist teaching on training one's own mind to enhance the experience of life with an increased sense of internal happiness and a noticeable reduction, if not cessation, of internal suffering as well. This presentation is intended for trained novices and experienced Dharma practitioners. For those new to this concept of Lojong who would like to explore further, you are encouraged to get additional resources to clarify these powerful Lojong verses. In this way, you will better understand the truthful conceptual meaning of these verses and not just hear the words. With caution, you can begin here, but several conditions need to exist for these verses to be skillful, fulfilling, and successful. First, a genuine sense of devotional aspiration to be internally happier and suffer less as a human being. Second, a genuine sense of devotional aspiration to be altruistic and of a skillful, positive nature to the world around you. Last, and very important, simply put, a sincere, informed, and truthful understanding that these verses are not about thinking less of yourself, but encouragement to just think of yourself less. Please hold these conditions as you think and practice with these powerful mind training verses. Internally or externally, compassion and loving kindness held with patience is the key to transforming, diminishing, and even the cessation of any negativity. Like the water extinguishes the fire, the burning of our own unskillfulness can only be extinguished by our own loving kindness and the loving kindness of others. This is why it is so important to embrace selflessness along with loving kindness. Practice calmly, practice clearly, practice well. Namaste. Verse 1. With a determination to accomplish the highest welfare for all sentient beings who surpass even a wish-granting jewel, I will learn to hold them supremely dear. This first verse expresses the importance and need for selflessness in one's current condition of mind. The verse is encouraging with determination to cultivate loving concern for the welfare, the condition, and circumstances of all living things. Practice with this verse brings an understanding and reinforcement that through all other life is the only way for one to accomplish aspirations of altruism and loving kindness. This surpasses even a wish-granting jewel materialistic sense of accomplishment by something other than one's own life force. All other life is the principal source of all of our experiences of joyfulness, happiness, and prosperity. It is because of this life truth that one would hold the only thing capable of providing the accomplishment of one's aspirations in a sense of special reverence, in a sense of truly being supremely cherished in a way of loving kindness, the very thing that one aspires to express through practice. I will learn suggests that this process of mind training will take some time, effort, and patience, and becomes clearer as one continues to meditate and practice these encouragements of selflessness. As one practices with this view, a state of being extremely grateful to the causes and resolutions of one's aspirations is what becomes clear and supremely dear to the practitioner. Verse 2. Whenever I associate with others, I will learn to think of myself as the lowest among all, and respectfully hold others to be supreme, from the very depths of my heart. This verse is not in any way suggesting or endorsing a sense of lessening one's self-esteem, capacity, abilities, or true worthiness. Rather, this verse encourages and instructs self-humility based in wisdom, equanimity, and a constant devotional reverence of all sentient life. The practice of opening one's mind and learning to hold others supremely dear produces a reflective condition of mind of the immense importance of other sentient life for the fruition of our own happiness and reduction of personal suffering. This practice is foundational to cultivating an effective practice of skillful humbleness. The words, lowest among all, is relative to our sense of self. Simplistically, our view is one, others' views are many. This condition of mind reduces our selfishness and our self-cherishing and opens our mind to others. When we harbor a sense of personal supremacy, we stop considering the perceived lesser views. Instructed to respectfully hold others indicates a positive, constructive self-dignity in this practice, with its source being a deep compassion of the heart more than a recognition of mind. This verse is not about thinking less of yourself, but rather to think about yourself less. Verse 3. In all actions, I will learn to search into my mind, and as soon as an afflictive emotion arises, endangering myself and others, will firmly face and avert it. This verse is instruction on mindfulness. As spiritual practitioners, we all aspire to overcome our negative impulses, thoughts, and emotions. What is also true is through constant habitual engagement of negative tendencies, behavior, and afflictive thoughts, our aspirations of ahimsa, or non-harming, becomes muted by these powerful, unskillful negativities. Even more problematic is the lack of application of the proper antidotes to address these negativities. Afflictive thoughts and emotions do occur in us naturally, spontaneously, and are quite often overwhelmingly powerful. So much so that without an effective antidote, we are often driven by them. The words, "as soon as an afflictive emotion arises," is reminding and instructing the practitioner to remain aware of this truth of negative practice and the need to address negativity in its infancy, when it is small and can still be controlled. The verse again assures the practitioner that these conditions of antidote I will learn and will take some time. The encouragement of instruction is a consistent vigilance of reviewing one's condition of mind to recognize these negative afflictions and thoughts when they first begin. In this starting condition, they may be ceased or at least diminished in intensity. A severity of need is indicated by noting that not only the practitioner, but the others who are connected with the practitioner are at risk from these powerful negativities as well. Practice of this mindful instruction in an everyday, every opportunity environment results in the internal disarmament of the three poisons of the mind: aggression, aversion, and delusion. In addition, with a devotion to the practice, there is a subtly applied, overpowering liberation from the negative ego of self. Verse 4. I will learn to cherish all beings of bad nature, and those oppressed by strong negativity and suffering, as if I had found a rare and precious treasure. Verse 4 is special instructions on those situations we encounter of a negative nature or affliction. When in these situations, we soon realize they require a special action on our part, beyond our normal practice, to not react and engage in negative actions ourselves. This practice opens us to learning to cherish and see the rarity and preciousness of afflicted situations and those afflicted with negativity. For it is these conditions that enables the practitioner to improve and refine their altruism. Without seeing these rare and precious afflicted situations and beings as the powerful catalyst and remedy to your own ignorance and suffering, one is destined to remain in a state of delusion and unskillfulness and continue to suffer. In addition, this verse very subtly teaches about at-one-ment, the conceptual understanding of the dependent nature of reality, the unity of all things, and the delusion of separateness and intrinsic phenomena. In our practice, even those things we see as unskillful and of a negative propensity have a functional and practical application for their existence. All is as it should be, as it continues to change. Verse 5. When others out of jealousy treat me badly with abuse, slander, and so on, I will learn to take all loss and offer the victory to them. This verse is instruction on yielding to negativity itself, not the offender. It is practice in controlling your ego and generating forgiveness for the unwanted situation as well as the offender, stricken with a delusional, uncontrollable internal negativity. As with the other verses, there is reassurance that learning will take place and will take time. The verse instructs the practitioner to offer victory as an internal gesture and not give victory in external condonement. The verse's first line clearly states the source of this practice as me, the practitioner. It is most important to understand and engage with this practice when it is only your ego and your view that is at risk. Instead of engaging in conflicted, damaging conversation and actions, the negativity and conflict may be stopped by yielding and letting it pass, with a cessation of conflict on your part and a perceived victory by the offender. This verse in no manner suggests or encourages enduring physical violence or negative actions, either by you or what you witness. Nor is this verse suggesting or conveying that these negativities are being allowed to pass with an offered victory of non-action taken towards the offender. Rather, this verse is about internal disarmament of our own reactive and negative tendencies. This practice lessens the escalation in our minds of unskillful thoughts and impulses. In turn, there is a reduction of unskillful circumstances and situations created externally through our speech and actions. Verse 6. When one whom I have benefited with great hope unreasonably hurts me very badly, I will learn to view that person as an excellent spiritual guide. This verse is instruction in developing patience, forgiveness, and creating an unconditional state of altruism. Normally, when you treat another with loving kindness, compassion, and engaging friendship, and they respond to your efforts with anger, aversion, unreasonability, or harmful actions, a sense of disappointment, hurt, and even outrage comes on that is so strong that a feeling of justification is experienced in reacting in a sense of anger, disappointment, and even outrage by you. For the true of heart and devotional practitioner, there should be knowledge of and resistance to this normal propensity, and a positive recognition of the opportunity to practice your altruism and patience. This verse indicates that when involved in these described conditions, it is the perfect time to engage with this effective, powerful antidote to your internal negative propensities and potentials. It is encouragement to find internal patience for yourself as well as others, to improve your abilities to be more loving, caring, and open-minded. Instead of being pulled into unskillful circumstances and events, use this precious gem that is being offered. See the other as a true teacher of patience and forgiveness, a rare and positive opportunity for the continued practice of your altruism, patience, and self-improvement. Verse 7. In short, I will learn to offer to everyone, without exception, all help and happiness directly and indirectly, and respectfully take upon myself all harm and suffering of my mothers. This verse is instruction in compassion, equanimity, loving kindness, and in the Lojong meditational practice of Tonglen. Tonglen is the meditational practice of the sending and taking of happiness and suffering, respectively. In meditation, during inhalation, there is a visualization of breathing in the suffering and discomforts of others. And during the exhalation, there is a similar visualization of breathing out to them happiness, gratefulness, understanding, equanimity, and loving kindness in return. This verse instructs to move beyond the realm of this mindful meditation into the physical moment and influence the lives of others by listening, offering healing friendship and support, expressing loving kindness, and an unbounded practice of patience for all things, including yourself. This practice is performed internally and discreetly. The verse is very clear about placing a respectful position upon the practitioner in the taking in of another's suffering. It is held in confidence, privacy, honor, and non-exhibition. True integrity in practice and discretion is foundational to being respectful and fulfilling the intentions of the verse. The final reference in the verse to others is the word mothers. It is reminding the practitioner to maintain a mindful, vigilant understanding of the at-one-ment of all things, and that the individuals involved here not only have been the mothers of all of us at some time before, but are the mothers of our very own liberation and cessation of negative potential and propensities. Continued devotional practice produces a condition of mind in the practitioner that is based in commonality, equanimity, and loving kindness. Verse 8. I will learn to keep these practices undefiled by the stains of the 8 worldly preoccupations, and by understanding all phenomena as like illusion, be released from the bondage of attachment. The previous 7 verses have been the insight and instructions in the methods to practice. This verse provides the insight and instruction in the wisdom of the Lojong practice. The initial starting words of this verse again, "I will learn," remind the practitioner that this entire process is of a learning nature and requires time and loving patience to complete successfully. This verse is a summation of wisdom from the first 7 verses, learned and reflected through practice. This verse is a reminder to keep the entire Lojong practice true, remaining beyond and undefiled by the normal life, mundane concerns and considerations. To practice in a condition of mind that is not engaged in the worldly preoccupations of gain, loss, pleasure, pain, fame, infamy, praise, and criticism. It gently reminds us to embrace the true emptiness of all phenomena and engage with it as if it were nothing more than an illusion. In the final words of this wisdom verse is the assurance and a testament to this entire Lojong practice. It concludes that the results are that the practitioner is released from the burdens of attachment, negativity, and suffering. And as the practice continues, in their place, there will develop an ever-increasing sense of understanding, compassion, loving kindness, and a selfless connection to all things. Practice calmly, practice clearly, practice well. Namaste.